A Massachusetts man ended the life of his wife and 2 young children more than 30 years ago. He recently went in front of the parole board to ask to be released. Is he a changed man? Friends of his say he is not the same man he was 30 years ago. He has embraced religion and he has learned a lot about mental health. But his wife's family says he is evil and he has not changed. I'm the reporter that wrote this story, so stay tuned as I break down what's in this story and show you clips from this meeting.
That I am guilty, accountable, and responsible for my actions of murder on April 28th, 1992. The murder of Polly, Danny, and Amy Seguin, my wife, and our beautiful children. And I understand that the damage that I've done is unrepairable. It's never going to change what I've done. There will always be a void. I could never make up for my crime. It's unfixable. It's permanent. And it's far-reaching. It's an affront to the Coxes, McKays, Seguins, Fredette families. It's an affront to the community of Holliston. It's an affront to our friends, family. And I'm responsible. I'm accountable. I've been remorseful since 1992 for my actions. I ended the life of 3 beautiful people.
So what happened that night? In 1992, Kenneth Seguin took his 7-year-old son and coached him at soccer practice. His wife was out that night volunteering. At one point, he stopped by CVS and got over-the-counter sleeping meds. He then went home and drugged his 2 children. He then put his sleeping children in the car and started driving. At one point, he stopped, found a payphone, and called home to let his wife know that he had left. He was going down to Cape Cod because the kids convinced him, but that nothing was wrong. He then went and ended their lives and hid their bodies. He also called both of their schools to let the teachers know they wouldn't be there the next day. He then went home and also ended his wife's life. He also attempted to hide her body. The next day, 2 fishermen found her. When police questioned him, he had cuts on his arms and said that someone had broken into their home, but they still didn't know where the children were. His wife's sister and the children's aunt went to the hospital to beg this man to tell them where the children were. He never did. Their bodies were found days later. His lawyers claimed that he was not sane at the time of these attacks. Ultimately, he was found guilty of 2nd-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Now, the parole board has decided 4 times already since 2007 that he is not able to be on parole. But they are currently deciding what that means this time. And this man says he has changed and he's taken responsibility for his actions.
They were happy. They were healthy young children. And I took their lives. And I affected so many people, kids in their class. I know the good grief counseling had to come in and deal with those children. I know some children had to ask their fathers if they would kill them. No father should have to answer that question. I caused that lack of trust. I caused that questioning that no one should have for a parent. I disgraced the title of parent.
In the next few parts, I'm going to explain what the parole board has said, what his friends are saying, and what his wife's family is saying. So be sure to follow.